Okay, good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through the live order flow in the markets, whatever markets you want to look at. Really, that's the all markets part. Whatever we can connect to, which is crypto, futures, and stocks. So the whole idea, or thrust of the webinar here is to use order flow as an advantage or edge. And how do we know, or how does it present itself as an edge? Well, there's a logic behind it here, and we can go through and take a look at setups in the order flow. But the participants in the markets, the only way that they can participate is via orders. This is not an open outcry, pit like back in the day. It is all electronic and it is via orders. Therefore, understanding people's behavior is done via the orders. And this is why order flow can offer this edge. A few news items here. Last day here for the Bookmap Trading Companions. So if you want to win, then take a screenshot of a Bookmap in the background with your pet in the foreground, or however you want to do it, and on Instagram, X, and LinkedIn, hashtag Bookmap Pets, uploaded it, and it will come right into our web page. Also, Bruce's pilot program, building an edge. We will show you how. This is something that we've seen, or that I have seen over the years, many years now. Traders of all different levels, the biggest gap is that traders don't have an edge, and they don't know how to build or define one. The pilot program will change that. We simplify it, we focus. We're looking for something very straightforward to build an edge. All right, so we use the replay mode and the trading journal to do this. Okay, so it's very, very fast in that regard. Like online poker players or something that are able to build experience very quickly. Same idea here, by building reps very, very quickly, instead of wasting your time toiling away looking at the market all day long. You don't need to do that. All right, so anyway, let's get into it. Our Bookmap Academy, our journaling program, or our way of journaling and building out a playbook. This is what we're going to be doing in all our webinars. Basically, it's the same process in the Bookmap Academy. Impetus, what is moving the market? Okay, fundamentals typically are the things that people are reacting to. Could be technical levels though, but on a higher time frame. It could be both, and then we want to look at those key technical levels on that higher time frame, and we start to develop scenarios and strategies. So for example, today we can go through, and we just had the ADP the JOLTS job report. ADP is tomorrow. We have employment data all week. Okay? The big event being on Friday with non-farm, and what are we anticipating? What are we expecting? What does the market think? What do you guys think? What about how is the market reacting to this? This is what we want to understand, and we can start to build out scenarios. So if we're in a range right now, and this range is being bashed around and tested, well, the market doesn't know. Market doesn't have much of an opinion on this, so we can go into range-bound strategies. Okay. We start to look for those things. Then we finally get to our setup. Okay, our checklist, we should know it intimately. You grade the setup, you determine your sizing, you wait for your order flow events to execute and manage, and that's where Bookmap comes in handy. All right, a few disclosures and we'll jump in. General disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's jump in and take a look here. Okay, so here's our 10 a.m. here. So just some minutes ago, the JOLTS job, and the oh, we didn't get too much out of that. I usually don't. It's not much of a mover, but you can see the liquidity did dry up around it. Okay, see what I mean here? For those of you who are new, anyone in the academy, you guys know, or that have been in here for a while, know exactly what we're talking about here. How, in fact, let's go to the heat map settings and restore it. Okay, so see this dark area, right? And especially here at 10 a.m. Very, very dark. In fact, let's bring up the pen tool. Okay. Yeah. So this whole area, see how it's kind of dark there? Well, what's going on? Well, we don't know what the number is. You can see the number. There's some risk there. So people pull their liquidity. This makes it easy once that number comes out for buyers and sellers to move the market pretty quickly. There's volatility because there's less liquidity. This is how the market works. All right, so now you can see the market is digesting it, and traders are coming in, liquidity is coming back in, and we're starting to understand what people think of the news. Okay, so we can see that the job openings was a little bit better than expected, but you can see that we went up, traded up into these areas up in here where there was liquidity previously. We exhaust out, we see sellers come in, and we're coming right back down. All right, so it's really pretty much a moot point, but you can see where we're going with this about our top-down approach. Start with the fundamentals, the bigger picture, and what's moving the market, and then start to look at your key levels. Okay, so JOLTS job opening. We see the move up. Key level for today, at least, is just right here. We can see that, and we see high liquidity in here. Even though it was pulled in here, market just went up above it and traded into some liquidity here, exhausted out, and sellers come back in. So if that, we can put this into a plan then. And I hope some of you guys in that pilot program grabbed it. It looks pretty good, actually. Okay, 2 exhaustion points up in here, some selling coming in, selling here. You can look to take some profit maybe down here and look for a bigger run maybe down here or all the way back down into high liquidity down here around 96. Okay, but we can go through. Let's just go, let's just go back into this here. Impetus, what's moving the market? Okay, well, we know fundamentals move it, but we're we'll get to the scenarios in just a minute. So we had an event. We know it's not the biggest event, it's not that important, but the market does react to it. Key levels on higher time frames. Okay, well, we looked at some of our key levels here. Okay, going across here from 843, or we can zoom out more. We can look at some of these levels in here. Okay, this is definitely a key level down here around 66.95. Okay, and so we're all right. We're starting to put things together. And for the overnight here, this is the key level. Here's high liquidity. Okay, and now scenarios. Okay, so we know the big event is on Friday. This is lesser important, and we see that we come up into this area up in here. We don't see a whole lot of liquidity getting filled on the offer, so it doesn't really fit the setup of the trend line break and accumulation. But there's some exhaustion up here. There's a trend line. There's some selling coming in. We can look for a mean reversion trade right back down to the high volume node here, and some of these other levels that we had already lined up. Okay, and there you go. Okay, there's scenarios and strategies, and our setup would be a break or a fade the outside edge and look for the move back into the range. And then we look for our order flow events, and that would be exhaustion up in here and selling starting to come in here. Would have been really nice. Well, we do see a stop run here. Okay, now that's right at the 10 o'clock. hour. So we know that there's probably going to be some stops there. Anyway, we don't see any stop run here, and we come right back in. All right, so anyway, we're just outlining the process here, and we don't even really have quite a setup for this that fit. So maybe you'd bypass it, but if you do have a setup for it, you do look for these things, then you would have had a nice little trade. All right. Good morning, everybody. All right. Good morning. Shark, trading his life. Dan, Steven. Okay. And how we doing over on YouTube? Let's take a quick look. Can you show volume profile in Bookmap and how to read it? Yep, we can go over iceberg stops. Yep. Good morning, rainy days. And trader JBR. Good morning. All right, so stops and icebergs. We were just kind of covering it right now. You know, we look for this. Here's not a bad one right here. Okay, it's a beauty. This is a pretty strong move. Now this is pre-market, or no, it's not pre-market. This is the opening. So here's the opening over here, and some pretty strong volume on the buy side comes in. Let me just tone down this heat map a little bit here. All right, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so some pretty strong volume. Okay, that looks good. They trade up to the top of the range here, which is the cash open, into high liquidity along the way as well. And then what do we get at the top of the range? 231 stops. Okay, now I wouldn't have taken this, but what I want to cover is stop run at the top of the range, you know, pretty decent size, and look for some exhaustion from the buying. Look for the selling to come in, then look for the move back down into the range or other side of the range. Okay, this is how I like to use stops. Is look at the extremes, look for the stop run to kind of gut the market, right? Stop everybody out, explore down below, hit a bunch of stops, but does not accept. Look for the buyers to come back in and then move price back into the range, right? So that's a fade strategy for the stops. And the same with the icebergs. I mean, a lot of icebergs down here. Okay, so larger players are scooping things up down here. That's what we want to see. And you want to see that along with a stop run, people getting stopped out, but larger players absorbing. Okay, those are the things I would look for at my levels. Okay, Mark or Marge, this is really important. Look at your levels, trade the way that you trade. Now start to look at stops and icebergs as a confluence. Okay, alone they are not a signal. Okay, order flow these are order types within the order flow, and that is less significant. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But there's so many other players doing many other things. Okay, the larger players, we want to see what they're doing with their iceberg orders. We also want to understand the smaller players with stop loss orders, and we want to look at those transactions, okay, of those order types. Okay, here's another beauty right here. Look at this move. Now, it's not the biggest stop run here. To me, this, I don't know, you options guys can look at this. This, again, looks like an options play here that, larger player had to sell a bunch because they had to buy a bunch of calls. So the dealer had to hedge that and push the market down very, very quickly here. Anyway, I don't know if that is, but I speculate on that. We see a stop run, we see high liquidity, and then see the buyers come back in. See the buyers come back in again here, and then it's not much of a move. I think it would be a moot point here because you got the data coming out, right in front of the data. So you know, it looks great in hindsight, but that's what really happened here. You probably wouldn't have been in this. All right, let's go back here. Okay, so we just traded up into high liquidity along the way up here. Okay, sellers starting to come in. Okay, this is looking much better. Now, again, let's look at this here. I'm not going to take this, but it's starting to match some criteria in the setup. What we don't have is a key level up here. Okay, I want to see this here. Get the pen tool out. Okay, I want to see this here, but I want to see it up here. Okay, makes sense. Okay, then we have a key level, we have absorption, we have several levels of absorption here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, maybe a little bit more, and we have a key level up here around this 13 or 14, maybe 15, and then we look for a break of structure. A stop run would be great too, Marge, big stop run to the upside, and then price to come back in. And then we want to see a break of structure, which we see a break right now of structure, right? So we'd be kind of looking for this move down to here, which I would look for that move into 03. But again, this is not a great setup because we don't have all the pieces. Okay? We're still looking for it, right? But the thing that we want to avoid, and we found, like, you know, from the pilot program, that we want to avoid is taking these kind of not so good setups. It sounds really simple, and we always hear about that, but if we don't have a great setup, well, then why do you want to throw money at it? Because you want to trade? Then if you want to do that, then go ahead and trade, right? But if you want to trade and win, then this is something different. All right. So, you know, it's meeting some criteria in here, and yeah, for that setup. Now, this setup in particular, what I'm talking about. Let me take a step back for just a minute here, and show you guys what we're talking about. All right. If you go to bookmap.com, education. And then scroll down to the supply and demand setups here. It is this one here, trendline break and accumulation is what we're talking about. You start here because you first need to understand what we're looking at, and then the setup and the criteria this is what we're following in the pilot program. Okay, and we have some criteria here. Okay, but it's not an 8 or 9 or 10. Trade here, you know, out of 10. So we're going to avoid it, okay, because we just don't know. And some of this looks kind of good, and you know, you get a break here, but you know, now we don't know. Look at the back and forth in here. Okay, there could be more buying that all of a sudden comes in, and you know, we see the move back up. Okay, over here I'm looking for 03. We didn't even get that. Okay, down to a point of control here. Okay, it's above point of control so far. Anyway, I do want to show this though. Okay, that this trend line break here, and you see the accumulation here by the sellers here, the aggressive accumulation. You could have gotten a single out of this. All right, so you know, you could have traded it down to like 06, okay, where it broke out from here. Now, I'm not uh, condoning taking that trade. I just want to show this, though, that this is not a great setup, but there were some parts to it, and it was kind of starting to work. And you could have, well, I shouldn't say that. It gave you a single. And that's all it gave so far. It didn't give anything else. It allowed you to hit a single, take some off down here, and then you would have gotten stopped out at break even. Okay, but because it's not a great setup, you wouldn't look for this to really work well. We're lucky enough to get a single out of it. All right, I hope that makes sense. All right, let me see. Get back to Discord here. Range is too small. Well, the markets are fractal, Marion. So you'll see these moves on all time frames. Like right now, is this a key level? Well, it's below these levels in here. We see a reaction. Buyers come back in to move it to the mean here. Now sellers are back in. They're likely to dump it down below this key level into this liquidity here. Okay, and let's see if this is enough here. We can even come back down to 01 or the figure here. Okay, so there it is already. There's 05 already. Okay, and I would anticipate a pullback here after 05. Okay, this is a strong move. We talked about this as well. This is where we're going more and more into good morning, trading is life, and Laura. This is for you guys, over in the pilot program, about some of the nuances, and Shark as well. We've been talking Shark, but look at some of these moves in here, right? They kind of measure out, right? So because of that, do you want to get in down here? No, I'm going to wait for a pullback. This will save a lot. So here now it's a small little range in here. Okay, so let's see if we now see some exhaustion up here, some selling right around here, and we can look for another break here and then a move down. Okay, so let's see if we get something like that, or we can get a stop run up above. There's our exhaustion. There's our selling. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. So let's see it now develop into a bigger move. That move would probably be something like this, equal to this one. That's what we'd look for. All right, so be attentive on some of these moves in here and how much of a range they have. Okay, your ADR, ATR. Okay, liquidity, targeting your liquidity is good down here, and it's the figure down here as well. However, that means that Shark, this is something we were talking about. If you are targeting that down here, it's a little outside of the kind of breadth here of the selling. So how do you want to handle that? Do you want to wait? And that means you might have to wait for a pullback. For this target to be hit, you might have to sit through a lot of pain. That's something that you'll have to answer that question. Unless you're looking for a quick move down, then you would maybe looking somewhere in here to take some profit and then maybe get a pullback and then see the market hit down lower. Now, if you're not worried about that, you're like, fine, my stop's up here or whatever it might be, then maybe you're fine for taking some off down here, right? As you can see, I mean, see the market, this is what it gave us here. It didn't even make that move here. It didn't even come back down to this swing or this liquidity here. Okay, it didn't even come back. Well, almost did, but this is what traders were thinking here, of like O3 point of control, liquidity here, and it came just shy of it. Didn't make it. Thanks, DNT. Yeah, DNT, would you able to confirm? Let's see, where is it? Oh shoot, is it here? Yeah, I think it was this move here. 954. This is some options in here. I'm just trying to, you know, all these years, like these big moves like this, and now having these options tools at our disposal to be able to understand, like, okay, I get it. That's what unfolded there. I mean, I would, always kind of thought that this was, I mean, obviously larger players moving the market. No question about that. But like, what is their position? Uh, I always kind of thought it was some sort of institution, bank, whatever, doing something that, and we don't know what they're doing. Hedging this or that or whatever. But if we can very easily kind of start to define some of these events in here and these players, like, okay, this order book sweep here was options hedging. $9.54. Okay, there it is. Look at that. Thanks, DNT. Okay. Yep, makes sense. Okay, so what that means is heavy call selling. Okay, heavy call selling. Their position is heavy call buying, so they are long. What are they going to do? Well, they're going to come in and hedge that immediately, and they're going to sell futures. All right, guys, I'm still looking for this drop back down into the figure here, 01. There's some exhaustion again in this range. Now, again, I don't want to buy or sell up here, right? It's just not worth it. Like I want to like sell maybe here, and then trade it back down to the range, and then I can reduce some risk, or I have a little bit of breathing room here. I mean, look at the buying coming right back in again. Okay, so what I was looking for is still just didn't unfold. All right, let's clean up our drawings. There we go. All right, so some buying interest coming in here. All right, let's jump back here. We've been looking at some kind of squirrely price action and back and forth in here. Let's take a look at our higher time frames. We'll start with the daily over on the right hand side, and you can see that we're right within yesterday's range. It just kind of tiptoed out of it on the sell side here, and they came right back in. Okay, what about today on the hourly? One thing on the hourly. So this is yesterday. No, hold on here. Is this all screwy? This was yesterday. Yeah. I hate the way these charts, they just don't, they tell me the time here, but the date, so it looks like the 26th here, 20 26 still. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I got it. I got it. So this was yesterday's. This was our big gap. Yeah, this looks right. So this was what we, during the webinar, we were up in here, and we noted that we didn't really know up in here, and then we saw that one move later in the webinar. It was kind of the that setup from the learning center on this one here, the mid-morning failed reversal. Okay, so we kind of saw that, and we saw it, and we were looking for the move back down into the lower parts of the range, and then we broke it actually, and we filled the gap. Guys, look at the gap fill. Did anyone get this yesterday? So this is, you just, you can't make this stuff up. This was the higher level time frame we're looking at. Well, did traders react at it? Yeah, they did. Look at the move here. Okay, we got another one here. It broke it. It broke through the gap fill, but we see another reaction of traders again here at the close, and we came back up to the top of the range. Okay, what are we seeing now? Okay, well, look at the wicks back and forth in here. That's the squirrely price action that we're looking at the moment. Okay, so now this looks actually pretty good though. I like this on this time frame. I see that we've got wicks on both sides here, but see how we're trading right back down below this 15-minute swing here at 03, and I'm looking for more selling pressure than buying right in here. And you can see we're not getting it. I mean, you see the back and forth in here. You see a bit of a wick. Let's jump in here, because this is now, we have the potential now to move back down to the lows here. Okay, the offer looks pretty strong here. Okay, now let's see if we get sellers here, and if we do, I would look for this to break back down into 6,700 and come back down into some of the swing lows here. Yeah, here we go, 97, maybe 95 here. Let's go back to our higher time frame. This is something that we have looked at for a long time in here as well, is retests of these areas in here. Yeah, I think I put that into the I know I did, this wedge pattern here. The wedge pattern is great because we see the retest, the break. Okay, so that's kind of what we're seeing here. It's not really a wedge, but we're looking at the wicks up in here. And we know that the market tested, it found buyers down here. Market tested up in these areas up in here, and it found sellers. Now, this was the third time that it came up here, and we made a lower high here twice. I'm looking for sellers now to come down and at least test to the figure here at 6,700. Okay, so we might find buyers again. We might have to go lower. We might have to come down to our 96 level and find those buyers. Okay, but because we've tested up here many times and we're seeing the selling pressure come in, I'm looking for it to test down into these areas, and that's where we're looking for in here. Okay, so here we see the buyers come in. Here's our exhaustion, here's our selling, and we look for we were looking for a bit of a pullback in here, and again, sellers to hit it. Okay, so we're already down to our target of 6,700. Okay, I'm still looking for more. I think we can get down into 95. Now, is that going to happen immediately? It may. We might get some momentum here, but these moves in here are pretty equal. So, we can see a move back up to something like this, okay, before we get another equal move back down into like 96 or 7. Does that make sense for you guys? I'm looking at the S&P E-mini futures product, trader JBR. I don't have any GEX gamma levels on my chart. All right, guys, here's our move down into that 96. Now let's take a look here, higher time frame. Okay, I would anticipate there to be a reaction down here, okay, and some buying to come back in. Okay, we can look at kind of a micro cut here. Let's clean our drawings again, clear them. We can look at kind of a micro move here. Okay, or we can look at a higher time frame move here, something like this. Okay, let's see here. Now they tapped one more time into this liquidity down here. The sellers hit it. Now we're finding some aggressors in here. In fact, let's get rid of this, edit this one. Okay, redraw it. Okay. Okay, so we've got one structural level here, and we've got another structural level here. Okay, I want to see buyers back up above it, aggressive buyers here. Okay, I want to see a transition from sell side to buy side. Here's some exhaustion. Okay, that looks good. And I'm still seeing sellers here. Okay, the structure has not broken yet. Okay, buyers, here they come. All right, let's see now. We're just testing this up here. Now you see there was a lot of buying, and then that big green dot turned into nothing because there was some selling right after. Now the buyers come back in again. So let's see if we can now trade back up to here at 6,700. Okay, or the next level, which would be here. Okay, your single would be here at this 98 swing here and some liquidity there. Okay, now is this a great setup in here? No, it's not. Again, guys, it's not an A plus setup, or an 8 or 9 or 10. And the reason being is we just don't see the aggressive accumulation in here. I'm sorry, the passive accumulation on the bid. We really want to see that. Okay, we can look for hitting a single on some of these here, like this, or maybe I still think we can get a little higher here. The volume looks pretty good. Is that making sense to you guys? Duzman, DNT, Shark, Laura, Trading is Life. I mean, I know it makes sense to you guys. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's something that you you're in it. Okay, DNT, it is not a high probability setup though. Okay, we don't have everything here. Right? It's doing it. It is what we thought it would be doing here. But how much are we anticipating out of it? Not a whole lot. I mean, we don't have a lot of wind at our back here. Now, maybe the aggressors come in. Maybe we get a move back to 03, point of control. Maybe the other side of the range, 10. Here, we might. We don't know. But what we do know is if we wait for a good setup and we see on the bid tons of liquidity getting filled in here, Like if there was a lot of liquidity getting filled in here. Now there's some, right? There's some, and it's not bad, but it's not really that good. Do you really want to take that? No, I want this at my back. And then I want to see the key level, okay, which we do have. We do have the key level. That's what got us involved here to begin with, was the key level. And that's right here, okay? We know there's going to be a reaction, or we anticipate there being a reaction here. So we're waiting, we're watching, we're looking. And we're looking at this on a very small time frame here for that structural break. We saw some of that buying in here, and then the delta turned into nothing, right? After some selling came in. Okay, and then we saw it again in here, and it starts to look pretty good. We look for the single, we look for this 6,700, and that was it. And now we don't know, like all of a sudden right here, right now, you can see like we could see massive buying maybe comes in and then lifts that market. This turns into a continuation pattern here, and we see the move back up into 03 quickly, and maybe it's enough momentum to carry it to the top of the range. Okay. Are you calling me out on this? Does that make sense to you guys? I know it does to the pilot program guys. So because they know the nuances. Yeah, that's my point on that. Okay, so this is turning into exactly this continuation move back to point of control. Okay, now, and there's momentum behind this. I mean, it still could go up to 10. Okay, I would look for, though, a reaction here as well. We have high liquidity, or some high liquidity, some liquidity getting filled in here. We've seen a really nice move and a measured move, and we're at a swing up here. I would look for a pullback here. Okay, I would look for a pullback to maybe it's a tight range, maybe it's just to 02, but I would look for it to back to the figure here, and where it broke out from right here, right? So that's kind of what I'd be looking at. Okay, trading his life, you got it. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying though, that it's a nuance. It's not an A plus. God, I don't want to use letters because we're grading these in the setups checklist. So it's not an 8. It's not a 9 or a 10 for sure. Yeah, like a B minus. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's around a 6 or a 7, something like that. But it worked out. That can be really dangerous. That's where I think I'm going with all of this today. Is we don't know, but we do know when we have a good setup. Okay, it meets our criteria. Another nuance in here, and guys, we're gonna, I'll talk more and more about the nuances in here. Yeah, so you got burned yesterday, trading his life. So like we're going to discuss more and more about this. Why not an A setup in here? This one, because what we said, we didn't see all that high liquidity getting filled on the bid. Now there's something to mention though about that DNT. Is we had the key level for sure. Okay, that was good. We have another thing though, kind of, but it's more speculative. We're looking at the order flow, the players in here, and the there's something really good on our side here on this one. But like I said, it's more speculative. If we're looking for kind of a rotational market in here, and if that is the case, then maybe some of this criteria in here, you can kind of discount it a little bit, and say like, look, we traded some liquidity in here. I'm seeing a structural break. I'm seeing the transition from here. Let's go back here, because now it's clear as day that there's a transition here, and we've come up to 10 now, and look at all that buying coming in here. Okay, but we didn't know that down here. Okay, so if we look at it in here, do we see that transition from sell side to buy side? Not yet. Okay, where do we see it? Well, it starts to look pretty good in here. Okay, now that would be we were looking actually a little maybe early in here, right? And then that move up to this swing and the 6,700 here. Okay, and then this turned into that continuation pattern. Okay, so you can see the kind of impulse move here, pullback, impulse move. Not much of a pullback here, and it just kept going. So this is my point here. On a day like today, again, using this process here, this is why we get into this number 3 here about your scenario building and your strategies. Okay, what is it you want to trade? If this is range bound market, or if this was a trend move here, like this is a pullback in the uptrend for a bigger move here, right? Then you've got something else as well to put into that that setup checklist. All right, so that's why this is important here, the scenarios and strategies. Okay, we're looking for range bound days. Now we were mentioning that precisely down in here, like we're looking for a reaction in here, and we don't know how many buyers are going to come in, but we're going to look for a reaction, and yeah, we got it. Okay, now we've traded back up into some of the swings up here now. Okay, top of the range. There's still a little bit of momentum here, so I think we can even go a little higher here, maybe up to 12, maybe even up to 16 up here. And we see high liquidity up here at 20 and 22. Okay, there's some here at 12 as well. Well, Duzman, like especially I think for you, you were just about to get into it, and I think it's good you didn't, because like we said, it's not the A plus, the 8 to 10 that fits it. All right, let's clear our drawings again. Yeah, I'm still, okay, I know, I see that liquidity in here getting filled, but it's certainly at a key level, but this wasn't enough for me. The aggressive accumulation in here is great, just great. I mean, personally, I think it's just more of a rotational market type of thing. And you know, the buyers came in after sellers had their way with it, and the buyers have just moved it right back up to the top of the range. That's my feeling on it. And Duzman, like, yeah, I think it's you know, keep. I think you've gotten a little confused. We'll talk in the pilot program meeting. But you know, taking too many trades, I think you're over trading, and I think you're still in a learning curve or a learning cycle, which you know is great. Uh, but don't learn the concepts and then use the replay mode. I think it's just going to be way faster, like way faster. This is exactly what takes traders years to learn, and then put together some of the nuances. Because you just toil away looking at your screens all day long. Okay, so instead, like you know, go back to some of the better setups and you know, look for those, trade them in replay mode, get good at those, and then when you see it, you'll be able to look at this and go, yeah, you know, I'm just going to hit a single out of it. Maybe I'll hold for a runner. And we went through the scenarios of holding for a runner up to 03 or point of control right here. And then also looking for potentially 10 here. Well, we don't know that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think you're kind of over trading as well, DNT. I mean, this is the what entices us. We want to trade. We want to jump in there, and it's oh, can you guys see my screen? Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Um, yeah, and look, even more momentum coming in, right? So after this is another kind of, look at this structure in here. This is another flagging pattern. I mean, this fits, you know, certain things. We look for these things here. This is our structure here, or, you know, it could be down here. But this is where that buying really came in, and all of this volume in here is in control of the market, right? It's all, we can see it all down here as well, okay? And then this is a flagging move here. And I don't see sellers coming in hand over fist. It just keeps on dribbling down, dribbling down, dribbling down. And then here, boom, right? Now, again, let's take a look at this one, guys. I mean, like, just look at structure here. And we can put pieces together so we can start to understand the market structure better, I think. Yeah, I agree. It's still slow and it's still imbalanced, Steve. And absolutely. I mean, we're not breaking out of all of this in here. But there's some interesting things going on in here. So let me cover this here, because like this here from 05 up to 10, this is a pretty big move on pretty strong volume here from the buy side, okay? Right up into high liquidity and top of the range here. And then these guys are in control of the market here. And now we dribbled all the way back down to where that move initiated, though, exactly to it, right in here. And there it is, right at 05 or a little bit lower here. So again, now this goes back to what I was kind of discussing with Shark. This move here, okay, this is a flag pattern, okay, because it's such a deep pullback, though. It matches a measured move. It just so happens to be kind of like barely breaking the top of the range here. Okay, understood. Okay, so let's see now. Let's go through it again in here. Right, let's look at this one. So here's a move here, and that's the pullback so far. Well, let's see, do we get another move? We haven't gotten it so far. It's been choppy since then. We'd look for another move, and it would just go slightly higher here. Okay, higher highs, higher lows. And how this can be useful, I think, is with your trade management. Looking for pullbacks, and looking for follow through and targets. Repeat. I don't quite get it. So it's weird the way it's trading. What do you mean? NQ fresh highs. Oh, I said it was weird. Oh, well, the flag pattern in here. Maybe that was it. I mean, this just see it still fits the criteria. It just pulled back so deeply here. The measured move would be back up to the top of the range. That was all, I think, what I meant by it. Yeah, in fact, right in here, I would be looking for those aggressors to come back in. Any of these areas in here, can work for that flag pattern here. It just came all the way back. Okay, now we're getting a breakout. Okay, how much of a breakout are we looking for here? Up to 12, 16 is what we said, right? Here's, or 13, I guess, 1275, 13, and then this is from yesterday's swing up at 16. Okay, so momentum on the upside here, it's starting to pick up. But again, I'm looking forward to I'm not looking forward to go straight up there. Yeah, let's jump over to NQ repeat. Adjust my heat map a bit. And let me take some, let me consolidate some of these stops and icebergs in here. Yeah, NQ is more bullish, clearly. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I don't have a higher time frame chart on the NQ open, but we can take a look here. So that's a lot of momentum in NQ. Yeah, repeat. So here again is kind of similar. Like let's just zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so this is what we saw. It's a lot more bullish. But and do we have the setup in here? Let's first look at that. First off, it's making higher lows in here. This is very different. Okay, and I don't know. Return to our NQ resident expert, Laura. Uh, did you take this? I imagine you bypassed this one clearly. I mean, I know the way you trade. You're looking for a great setup. You don't see it here. Okay, this might be like, God, I don't even know if this would. You don't even have a key level, really. Maybe down here you do. Yeah, this starts to look a lot better here. Now that's right before the data, though. Here this is what we're talking about. High liquidity getting filled, getting filled, getting filled. Okay, structure break, some buying coming in. Another structural break here on heavy buying. Okay, so now we're looking for the single, hit it up here, which is pretty nice. Okay. Now we don't know, we probably wouldn't do that though, because the data came out right here at 10. Yeah, you didn't like it. I don't like it either. If you don't like it, Laura, I don't like it. I don't see it, right? And look, guys, this is going to keep you out of some trades. Some are going to be, you're going to kick yourself, but in the long run, it's better because you don't put on the risk. All right, so let's say you want to take a 6 or 7. No, I would never do that, but like a 7 or an 8 trade, like maybe a 6 you would take it trading his life if like some other things kind of from your experience kind of line up. For example, you're looking for a rotational day like today, and that starts to make sense. Then you don't have all the pieces of the setup because you don't have a whole lot of committed traders looking for it. So how much do you want to risk on something like that, though, is the question. Okay, so maybe if you usually trade like I don't know, 5 or 6 contracts or something like that. Now we can say that's micros, okay, which would be I think pretty wise to do, is break it down into micros. Maybe just lower your risk on it. Okay, hit the single, take some off, and then maybe it turns into something more. Okay, and it's a rotational day, but we want to take the high probability setups, the ones that look really good, the 8 to 10, 9 or 10, and that's where we can put on more risk. Okay, this is where we left off on the ES. Was, yeah, okay, good momentum here on the buy side, but maybe back up into that 12 or 13 level. And that's what it's done so far. Okay, now our 15, 16 level is up here, and there's high liquidity there. All right. Well, another rotation back up. How much are we looking out of this? Well, yeah, I mean, there's still some momentum in this. Now, it's not a whole lot of buying up in here now. You can see it's curtailed a lot. I mean, here we have a lot of buying, okay, and starting to wane in here. Okay, but our higher time frame is, we already hit this one here at this 12 and a half or 12 and 3/4, and it's kind of is pulled back now. Right, so we're starting to find some, or we're finding basically less buyers up here is what it is. I'm not seeing a whole lot of sellers up here. There's some coming in. It's a pretty big, ugly looking profile here. Let me jump over to YouTube. Any questions over here? Whoa, a lot of questions. All right, hold on. Well, Marge, the full setup, just go watch that video from the Learning Center on trendline break and accumulation. And if you want as well, you know, you'll have to have Bookmap, but you want to join that pilot program. And this is only right now at the moment the only thing we are going over, and the reason we are only going over that is so we can focus deeply on one thing, because we want to build an edge. Okay? We don't want to take random trades, and you know, that's this is the way. How to get a rhythmic connection? Well, here I'll show you even better here. TC. Okay. So again, go to that Learning Center. Okay, go to bookmap.com. Go to the education button. Go to the Learning Center, and then data connection here. Okay, click on this, and then how to connect to stocks and futures data in here. So in here we go through the platform. Okay, about the data packages, about how to subscribe to them. Here's subscribing to Rhythmic, for example. Here's data for futures. And if we scroll down a little bit more here, now this is how to connect in here, stocks and futures data, Rhythmic. Okay, now there's a few different ways to connect for Rhythmic as well. Okay, just watch the video here. It's about 5 minutes long, a little less. And then there's another one here, connecting to Rhythmic in plugin mode. Okay, so what you can do is you can open up your Rhythmic. So for example, this is my Rhythmic RTrader Pro here, and I believe, well, right now I'm not connected to Rhythmic. I'm connected to Rhythmic data in the Rhythmic RTrader Pro, of course, but I am not connected to a Rhythmic in here at the moment. But let's do it. Okay, so I'll first need to configure and add Rhythmic in here. So let's add a connection. Rhythmic. This will just take a second, everybody. Well, then you put in your credentials in here. All right, I don't have my credentials up. You put in your credentials, and then depending on your connection, if you bought it from Bookmap, then you will use Bookmap paper trading. Depending on, you know, if you're connecting to your broker, you'll be using, or you can see some of the setups we have in here for Top Step Trader or Apex, Bullnox, whatever it is. You'll see many in here. All right, so but you'll likely be using Rhythmic 01 if you're connecting to Live Broker, and then you just, well, select your gateway, but make sure you select plugin mode. Okay, so that means that if you do that, you'll be connecting via the API of your RTrader Pro here. So RTrader Pro will still work, but it will also kind of split the connection basically, and then route it to Bookmap as well, okay, via plugin mode. So watch the videos and you'll get up and running there. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Let's see. Well, this is not a surprise at all to see this fading now, coming back in, although we had all this momentum in here in the ES, I don't know what the NQ has done. These were our targets, other side of the range here at 10. Yeah, here it's 10, this swing, and then it was this kind of 12, 13. Then the next one was 16. We didn't get to 16, and we already see the lack of buying up here, selling, not too much buying, selling. Here's our exhaustion here. It looks pretty good, you know, to take it down into maybe here where it's already trading around 06 or so. I would look for a pullback at this point as well. Okay, this has done a nice little move. It might have a little more juice in it, but I would look for a pullback, and I would look for the pullback to be something like that. Okay, yeah, it's something like that, back to about 08 or so. And we might not get it. We might just come straight down to point of control here, or the swing here. Heck, we might come down even further. It might drop. We don't know. We that's where we just don't know. But we look for things that we do know, and we look for things that we've studied and focused on for higher probability. So repeat, for example, yeah, you know, you had said something like a couple weeks ago about, like, well, we can all agree that, you know, like we know we don't know, or I forget, something like this. And it's like, yeah, you're right. You're totally right. Well, all we need to know is one thing, and we need to study it really, really well, become an expert at it, go deep, and then once we get that down, then we can start to look at other things as well. But we got to get that one thing down, and that is the biggest hurdle. Bogdan from Axia was saying exactly this, and that was the title of his webinar, go deep and then wide, or something like that. You can find it on YouTube. We have the recording available. And then once you focus on that one thing and get really good at it, then you can build out more. Okay. Yeah, we never know. Again, I always use these analogies in here, that we don't know. If you roll two dice, you roll the dice, you don't know what it's going to be. We never know. We don't know how streaky it's going to be. You might get 1s and 12s, 20 times in a row. You might. It's possible. Anything is possible there, right? And this is, just to make the point. But what's most likely going to come up? Okay, probably a 7, and then a 6 and an 8 would probably be next. And it's because it's the most combination. It's the most likely. And that's what we're trying to do here with the focus. Focus on one thing. Know it extremely well. When it presents, we take it. Boom, we're in. We know what we're looking for. We know what we're looking for. And we know how to trade it. We know how to react quickly to it because we know it so well. Look at this move here. No pullbacks, none. It's just been kind of grinding lower. This is the pullback right here. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess, 1, 2, 3. I don't know, but watch this. Watch this pullback. Okay. Once we get down here, watch the pullback. It'll be big. It'll be much bigger. I bet. I mean, just due to what I've seen, like the pullbacks after this, if we don't have any fundamental news, we have nothing else kind of, grinding away at the market here. I mean, heck, we never know. Like we could come back down here or here and then see that move. Oh, this is great. Okay, watch for the stop run here. And now the pullback will be a lot harsher. It's still stopping people out here. Okay, so we're down at the figure. Okay, let's see if we can get back down to this level here. Okay, now I would look for a pretty big pullback here, or opposite move, I should say at this point. I mean, that's what we've been seeing in here, like the opposite kind of move in here. So that's where you get that volatility, these bigger swings, like kind of like this, big swing, big swing, big swing. So here, a big swing, and I'm looking for a bigger swing back up to maybe 06, something like that. All right, on piste Tom. So you must be a skier, I bet. All right, let's see. So structure break. Let's see if we get it right around in here or here, and we see a lot of buy volume. Where are you? You might in Italy. Oh, Swiss. Okay, nice. All right, and then let's see if we now again. I don't think this is high probability, but this is what I'd be looking for, especially after these stop runs, and then a move back up in here. Let's see if we can see the buyers just ram it right back, right, and come back to maybe where it dropped from up here, 06, 07, something like that. Okay, we haven't seen it yet. Let's see if those buyers come in here. I mean, this has been a big move, right? And it's kind of it's basically a rotational day. One thing about the rotational days repeat is you almost always see this is where I love to see some of the stop runs. And a lot of times you get a big stop run, and then you'll see it actually retest that area and slightly break it one more time. It's like it's like a tap back. It always comes back one more time. Not always. And then you finally get the buyers. So it really just kind of really stretches it here, and then finally you get the buyers coming in, and then you get the move back up that we're looking for here. So I mean, we haven't seen it yet. The structure has not been broken. It's still holding here. Yeah, and then you can see a beautiful short squeeze repeat. Okay, let me see if I answered everyone's questions over on YouTube, and then we'll wrap it up here. We'll call it a day. Oh, thank you, Alois. Angel. Okay, Alois, you've answered all of these questions. Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, Randall. Yeah, exactly. I mean, looking for that scalping day, that rotational market here. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, Caveman, you're welcome. One thing I have to kind of mention in here about Caveman, like you were I think enjoying quite a bit that we were trading live in here in demo, and I like doing it, and the I like showing the trade management. I think it's a part of education that is so missed, and everyone just says, look at this, look at that, and wave their arms. I did notice though that when last week when I took a break from it, and I started to cover uh, many things a lot quicker, instead of being in a trade and then having to kind of wait. Right? It was I thought the education was better, so uh, that's why I've stayed away from it. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I mean, we maybe the best way to do it is just to hypothetically kind of go through it, and we kind of did that in some of these over here, okay? And we're looking for something in here, and we didn't see it, so we say no. We're not quite seeing it yet, and wow, okay, more and more selling coming in, hitting hard. Okay, so looks like sellers are going to come back all the way back down here. Yep, there they go. Okay, now is it going to pick up, and then we can come back down to the next level down here at 90? Okay, I imagine we're going to see a reaction here at 90 or at the low of the day here. Okay, there's a big stop run. Okay, nice. Low of the day. Okay, now let's watch for buyers right here after this big stop run. Okay, and a lot of buyers. This is our short squeeze repeat. Okay, let's see if we can get it here. Okay, and the first stop would be up here, where we kind of drop from, and the next one up here at 0.04, basically 0.3.5. Okay, so now everything's puked out, went below the low. We see the big stop run. Marge, this is going to answer your question, or is it Marion? Answer your question about how to use the stops in here. Okay, now we're overextended. We're at lows of the day. We have a big stop run in here, and this has been a pretty strong move to the downside. This is where we're looking for buyers to come back in. What do we got here on our side? Okay, so we have some key levels here. Okay, for sure. We have the stop run. Do we have a bid yet? It's starting to shape up a little bit. And do we have a lot of the liquidity getting filled on the offer, on the bid here? Yeah, we do. So let's see if those buyers come in now. Okay, the bid is starting to show a little more interest here. Okay, I'm looking for buyers right here at this 97.5. Okay, and then I'm looking for a quick move up to 6,700. I'd be in here. I'd be looking for taking my single up here at 6,700. Stop to about here, 94, 95. And that's how I'd manage it. Okay, now I'm waiting for a lot more buying to come in here. We're overextended. Okay, so coming back up into 03. Looks pretty good. 04, 03, somewhere up in here. Looks pretty good. Okay, so the single, we're already up. We would be up hypothetically, and our stop would be down here around 90, 95. All right, again, it's hypothetical. And we're getting a bit of a pullback here. Now, again, I'm still looking for a lot of buyers in here. Okay, sellers have had their way. They've totally moved this, and watch the buyers come in and move this. Okay, it's a rotational day. This is what we'd be looking for. Okay, I do like the point of control here, but also up here around 06 or so. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so that buying starting to pick up. Okay, it looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to get our trend line break here. It's already unfolding. Got one here. Got this one here. Okay. Let's see if we can get these buyers again. Okay, pull back. Buyers here. Okay, buyers, let's see if you can take it back up. 04 would be our next target. Not easy if it ever is. Repeat. Okay. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, this is a very difficult job. But the thing is, like I said, I think the more focused we are on one thing, the better. To just get that one thing, get that confidence, be motivated for the next thing, and you know, make some money along the way, even if it's just a little bit. It will lead to more. And the sizing we talked about earlier today as well, it will lead to more. Okay, so this is panning out, right? We were looking for this scenario here, okay, and now it's starting to unfold. Okay, so I don't know if you want to hit the single up here, and well, we already hit it here. Maybe the exit is here. That would be a safe bet. Okay, now because of this such a strong move to the downside, I would look for this kind of rubber band reaction back to like this kind of maybe 07. You know, we'll see. This is a developing point of control up here at 08. Okay, maybe it can come up here. Maybe you see the point of control rotate back up to, or you know, turn into 08 up here, and trades up in this area up in here. Anyway, guys, a lot of things we covered here, and a lot to chew on. Hope it was helpful. Let's wrap it up though, and we will continue. Let's see. Well, today's Tuesday, so we have the Bookmap Academy on Thursday, and then we have the All Markets webinar on Friday. So Friday at 10. All right. All right. So yeah, come on over to our Discord channel, and lots to look at over there. Please hit the like button so we can continue on with this kind of education. Join or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would recommend just coming over and subscribing to our Discord channel, since there's no cost involved at all, and you're going to get a lot more out of it. Okay, hope to see you there. Take care, and we'll catch up with you next time. Bye bye.